These are some of the worst referee mistakes in FIFA World Cup history. Some of the most head-scratching, jaw-dropping, debate-exploding referee decisions that left players yelling and fans fuming. We're talking disallowed goals that seemed legit, game-changing penalties that felt iffy, and moments that became just as legendary and controversial as the matches themselves. But in the England vs. France quarterfinal in the 2022 World Cup was a heartbreaker, a roller coaster of emotions with a side of controversy. Bukayo Saka is on fire, making plays, then suddenly, bam, he goes down in the box. But the whistle stays silent. France scores right after, and England's left wondering if a little whistle magic was missing. Harry Kane, like a rocket on the attack, gets tripped just outside the penalty box. The crowd's going wild. Kane's looking for the call, but not even VAR can save the day. No free kick. These weren't just hiccups. These were referee calls that sparked a debate bigger than a stadium brawl. Players, commentators, even your dog at home. Everyone was howling about the fairness, VAR's magic tricks, and whether the ref had bad eyesight or lost his whistle. This match was just the beginning. But in the 1990 final, West Germany vs. Argentina, something crazy happened. Instead of goals and glory, we got a red card shower and a penalty that still makes people scream. The Germans were all over Argentina, attacking like hungry lions. But the real drama came from the guy in the black shirt. This ref, Edgardo Codesal. The first major shocker, Pedro Monzon of Argentina getting the red card treatment. 65 minutes in, and he's off with a straight red for a studs-up challenge on Jurgen Klinsmann. That was a first in World Cup final history. Talk about setting records. But the real chaos hits with just 6 minutes left. Codesal blows his whistle, points to the penalty spot, and whispers, "Germany gets a present." Okay, maybe not a whisper, but you get the picture. Sensini tackles Voller, and boom, penalty. The Argentines erupt like Mount Vesuvius. Brahim smashes the ball in, and Germany grabs the trophy with a 1-0 win. And just when you thought it couldn't get any more heated, just to add salt to the wound, Dezzati gets sent off too, with the second yellow. Ouch. Argentina felt like they were playing with one arm tied behind their back. But in the 1966 final, England vs. West Germany had one of the most controversial goals of all time. It was extra time. Score tied 2-2. You could cut the tension with a plastic fork. Suddenly, Jeff Hurst lets loose a shot that rattles the crossbar and bounces down. Did it go all the way in, or did it stay out? Here's where things get spicy. West Germany's defense is clearing it like nobody's business, but the ref, Mr. Dienst, is scratching his head harder than a dog with fleas. He can't decide, so he calls over his buddy, the linesman, Tofik Baramov. He gives a little nod. Yup, England goal. Cue the fireworks. That call rockets England ahead, 3-2, paving the way for a 4-2 win and their first ever World Cup title. But hang on, this wasn't just any goal. This was the Wembley goal, analyzed more times than a pop quiz before an exam. Scientists, computers, and even fancy folks from Oxford and London got involved, all trying to figure out if this thing actually crossed the line. Turns out, it was kinda close, like half ball in, half ball out. Still, the debate rages on. England cheering, Germany grumbling, and everyone stuck in the middle, scratching their heads. But West Germany does it again in the 1970 quarterfinal versus England. If you thought the 66 final was trauma-filled, wait till you hear this one. The stage was set. England already has a sweet 2-0 lead. Things are looking good. And then Hurst fires a shot that ends up in the back of the net. But wait a minute. The ref throws up his flag. Offside. England explodes. Players argue. It's complete chaos. After some serious back and forth, guess what? The ref changes his mind. Goal allowed. Talk about a turn of events. But this wasn't about just one call. This was a battle for the ages. England, the defending champs, started strong, but Germany wasn't backing down. Clever tactics, fresh legs, and that German bulldog spirit flipped the script. What started as an English parade turned into a nail-biter, with Germany grabbing a 3-2 win in extra time. This match was intense, but it doesn't come close to the 1978 final between Argentina and the Netherlands. This match had so much controversy. Argentina faced the Netherlands in Buenos Aires, and what unfolded was a drama that went beyond the beautiful game. Even before kickoff, sparks flew. The Dutch accused Argentina of stalling, trying to delay the game and rile up the already crazy crowd in Buenos Aires. Then, things got weird. Argentina questioned the blaster cast on a Dutch player's wrist. The Dutch almost stormed off, but the ref calmed things down by adding some more padding to the cast. Once the game finally started, forget beautiful football. This was a roughhouse. Dutch players getting bumped and bruised. Potential red cards ignored. The ref seemed pretty chill with letting Argentina play a bit rough. No wonder the Dutch felt cheated. It ended 3-1 to Argentina after extra time. But the Netherlands, it tasted like a giant lemon. But the drama didn't stop there. You see, Argentina's military rulers were using the World Cup to show off and make themselves look good. This whole patriotic propaganda thing just added to the bad vibes, making everyone question if anything was fair on or off the field. As a final protest, the Dutch refused to join the victory celebrations. This wasn't just a football match. It was a moment in World Cup history that everyone remembers for all the wrong reasons. But some serious drama happened in 2006. Group stage match between Ghana and the United States. The game ended 2-1 to Ghana, but it was one sneaky penalty call that stole the show and still gets everybody riled up. It all happened in the 22nd minute, a moment that would tilt the scales in Ghana's favor. Oguchi Onyewu, the US defender, found himself in the spotlight, accused of fouling Ghana's Razak Pimpong. The referee didn't hesitate to point to the spot, but that decision was met with raised eyebrows and shaking heads. Why the drama? Replays tell a different story, showing Onyewu barely touching Pimpong. But in football, just like life, the ref's call is king. Stephen Appiah steps up, smashes the penalty in, and boom, Ghana's back in the lead. This penalty wasn't just a game changer, it sparked a broader conversation about the fine line between foul and fair challenge. For the United States, it was a bitter pill to swallow. But in 1982, Spain versus Yugoslavia, the final score was 2-1 to Spain. But it was a dodgy penalty call that stole the spotlight and remains a legend of World Cup blunders. The moment of contention arrived in the 60th minute. With the match poised on a knife's edge, a Spanish forward made a dash, but a Yugoslav defender was quick to intervene. The referee's decision was a penalty for Spain, but here's where it gets tricky. Replays later showed that the foul actually occurred outside the box. The ref's face, probably redder than a tomato. The drama wasn't over yet. The first penalty kick misses, but get this, the ref lets them take it again. Talk about lucky Spain. This time, they score, putting them ahead and leaving Yugoslavia fuming. This wasn't just a bad call, it was a spotlight on how tiny mistakes in the World Cup can change everything, but not as cruel as the 1986 World Cup clash between USSR and Belgium. This thriller ended 4-3 to Belgium, but whispers linger about two possible offsides for their goals. Back then, there was no fancy VAR tech to check, so those whispers became World Cup folklore. And then there's the 2002 World Cup match, Italy against South Korea, with the referee Byron Marino at the center of a storm of debate. This game had it all. A red card for Italy's Francesco Totti that raised more than a few eyebrows, and an Italian goal disallowed, shifting the tide of the match. Marino's decisions didn't stop there. He also awarded South Korea a controversial penalty and ruled out a potential golden goal by Damiano Tomasi for offside. The outcry was loud and clear, and who can forget 2014 World Cup opening match between Brazil and Croatia. The referee, Yuichi Nishimura, found himself in the hot seat after several calls that seemed to favor Brazil. The most contentious a penalty awarded to Brazil when Fred took a tumble in the box, a decision that even had the Croatian coach suggesting a switch to basketball, if that's how football was going to be played. But what's even crazier is Argentina versus Denmark in the 2022 World Cup quarterfinal, a nail-biter that went all the way to penalties after ending 1-1. But it's not the final score that everyone's still buzzing about. It's a penalty call. The spotlight was on Emiliano Martinez, Argentina's goalkeeper. During a corner kick amidst a scramble, Martinez made contact with Kasper Schmeichel. The referee's decision? A penalty to Argentina. Messi, cool as ever, stepped up and converted it, tipping the scales in Argentina's favor. But was it the right call? Some folks said the bump was barely a tickle, not enough for a penalty. Others swore it was a clear foul, Martinez taking out Schmeichel like a bowling pin. Did VAR get it right? Did it help the ref make the call, or did it miss something important? But in 1982, the shame of Gijón wasn't just a game. It was a moment that changed World Cup history. The date was June 25th, 1982, Gijón, Spain, and the players were West Germany versus Austria. The stakes, high and peculiar. With Algeria and Chile having played the day before, the math was simple yet unsettling. A win for West Germany by 1 or 2 goals would send both West Germany and Austria through to the next round, knocking Algeria out. So guess what? West Germany scores early, super early, and then nothing. The game turns into a small race. Both teams barely kicking the ball. No goals, no attacks. Just a whole lot of walking around. This wasn't football, it was a sneaky plan to knock Algeria out. The fans were furious. Algeria complained, but FIFA shrugged and said that no rules were broken. But the damage was done. This stunt was so bad, FIFA had to change the rules. Now, all final group games happen at the same time, making it impossible for another disgrace of Gijón to happen. But one of the most disgraceful moments was actually one of the most popular moments in World Cup history. The 1986 World Cup quarterfinal, Argentina versus England, Mexico City. The 51st minute, Diego Maradona, a legend in the making, leaps into action. Ball soars. Maradona rises with a cunning flick of his left hand. He punches the ball into the net. But did he just use his hand? The referees say no. The goal stands, and Argentina takes the lead. This might be controversial, but one of the most controversial things is that Ronaldo has 11 red cards. You can check out our video on it right here.